hello, everybody. How you guys doing? Welcome back to the Cherry Bomb Blossom Boutique. How you guys doing? Hello, everybody. Welcome to this lovely Sunday. It's so fucking hot. You know what? I think it's been a good idea to create a lot of backlog for things because my productivity is like wilding when it comes to the heat. I am the type of person who gets like the reverse seasonal depression. I get seasonal depression when it gets hot, not when it gets cold. Like when it's too bright outside, I hate it. That's how you know. I feel like I have some type of vampiric descendants in something because I hate the sun. I hate the heat. I wish for winter already. I crave for the cold. I crave for the day in which Earth is flinked out of the solar system and we have eternal winter forever. But hi Thurville, how you doing, sweetheart? How's it going? Oh god, I'm already dying. By the way, my worst nightmare came true today because Persona 4 Revival has been announced, and I was afraid that was gonna happen. As soon as I saw the trademark for P4R, I knew that piece for Persona 6 was done and over. It's time to pack it up. It's time to go. It's time for all of us to move out to the next realm because I am so over it. I'm over it. Like, on the one hand, I understand why. Like, sure, maybe it's about time that Persona 4 gets a little bit of a new coat of paint. You know, it needs a little bit of a new coat of paint. It needs a reimagination. I understand that, right? Persona 4 looks ugly, and it plays like garbage. I don't know, and I understand that. However, I would like to please see Persona 6 before it turned 30. That would be lovely. That would be awesome, because I'm so tired of reheated food. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Even though I enjoyed Persona 3 Reload, and I enjoyed the new moments, unless they're gonna introduce some of the cut content from Persona 4, I am tired. I'm over it. I don't want it anymore. Like, unless the only way that I'm interested in Persona 4 is if they bring back some of the cut content, which is Kanji's exploration of sexuality and the whole thing with Yusuke potentially being a bisexual guy. I don't understand. What don't I don't understand? The fact that there is no reason as for why the Persona 4 remake should exist. Like, I'm happy for those who are happy, and I'm not too mad about it anymore. Like, I was really mad when they announced it, but honestly, I kind of mellowed out. I'm like a little bit whatever, but I'm just disappointed, And also, you can so tell that this was damage control, because Persona 4 remake got leaked out of the wazoo, the worst kept secret in the history of the internet. Everybody knew about it. Even the voice actors were talking about it. So I understand. But still though, I feel like it did a lot more damage. No, there was some cut content about kanji. There was some good content about kanji, about it being... It was something about the fact that it was a bit more explicit. That kanji wasn't... That kanji is bisexual too. That kanji is... Kanji don't care. Kanji just hit what he think is cute. That was part of the content. Although the most obviously prevalent one is Yosuke. Yosuke being a romance option. That was the thing that was the most blatant that they cut out. So, yeah, I'm a little bit peeved. But you know what? It is what it is. I'm sure. Listen, I have a wish list from Persona 4 Revival. I have a wish list. It's the following two things. Number one, can we replace Yukiko? Can we give her an actual personality? Can we not have a cardboard of a person right there? And number two, please make Risa less annoying. That's all. The worst part is though, is Risa at the beginning was one of my favorite characters, but God, she got annoying super quick. But overall, I'm good. I'm good. I'm even okay with Yosuke being a little homophobic if they're gonna try and spin that into, you know, the reflection of homophobia. Because again, he was technically supposed to be bisexual, but they backed the fuck out. They backed the fuck out. Like, please, give me queer representation, or in fact, just let me date everybody. Why limit me? Why limit me? Let me date anybody. Let me have both pussy and penis, but holes on a pole. But yeah, anyway. Aside from that, though, there was nothing that much interesting on like the Xbox show. Like it felt. I mean, Xbox has always been known for being a little bit bare bones. Like everything they have, everybody's already had. Like Xbox don't have anything interesting or particular to them, which is the reason why I didn't really play that many games, that much games as a child, because you know I was raised on Xbox. But you know, it was fine. It was fine. Nothing too exceptional. At least it wasn't 2 hours fucking long and super padded out like Summer's Game Fest. But otherwise, it was okay. That game with Game Freak though, that like Monster Hunter looking ass game with Game Freak, I am excited. I am so fucking excited though, because now we're seeing what Game Freak is capable of when they are not like, you know, in the basement of the Pokemon Company. Like really, it truly, the reason why Pokemon has such bad quality and bad production quality is just because of the Pokemon Company. You think it was meh? I thought it was cool, but really coming from Game Freak, I think Game Freak deserves it. I think Game Freak deserves to have a bit more of a, you know, of a hurrah, of a fanfare, I guess. You really think it was that bad? I didn't think it was that bad, to be honest, but it is what it is, though. It is what it is. I'm excited. I'm excited for some games, but honestly, oh, did you also saw? Apparently, apparently they're charging. Xbox is now charging $80 as well. $80 as well for their games, and honestly, I am. Ooh, the future is grim, Mary. The future is grim. I don't want. Me no wanty no more. I know that they're trying to promote their, you know, Xbox Game Pass, but Jesus Christ, $80? Is everything just gonna be $80 from now on? If that's what's gonna happen, because if so, I'm quitting gaming. I'm quitting gaming forever. I'm going back to my roots of just playing free-to-play games. I'm already a free-to-play core. Like I already do everything free-to-play because, you know, I still have this sensation that I just cannot buy anything because everything is out of my league and nothing is affordable. And I'm going back, baby. I'm going back to that, to my roots, because my gosh, all games being the standard just being $80 at this point is way too fucking much. Way too much. They chose the wrong genre to get into and setting. Really? But it's sort of, like it's sort of Japanese action folklore game. I didn't think it was a bad thing. Since you're broke, yes. I'm waiting for the read. Why are we bringing up the fact that I'm broke? Why are we bringing that up? Oh, and also, you bet your ass that the moment that Persona 6 gets announced, I'm breaking the bank. I'm going into debt. I'm maxing out my credit card. I will get that game, no matter what you tell me. No matter if I end up living on the streets. I am so getting Persona 6. You were not counting the amount of Japanese action folk games during the game show. Honestly, I was half asleep for most of it. I was half asleep for most of it. And I was also recording earlier for the podcast. So I wasn't actively watching, to be honest. So, but anyway, folks, anyway, what are we here for? What is the purpose of today's stream? What are we gonna be talking about? Well, you know, we're talking about games, and so we're gonna be talking about Pokemon trainer gym leaders. Particularly, we're taking a look at both Bug and whoa, that is the wrong one. We're taking a look at both Bug and Flying type. Why? Because there is so little. There is so little of them. Bug type, I'm pretty sure, only has 4 gym leaders, and Flying type only has 5. I think. No, wait. I think gym leaders, they only have 3 each, and then one of them only has. No, hold on. Let me count, actually. Give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second, and let me just put this here. Yeah. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me look at this real quick. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 gym leaders. And you know, this fucking sad excuse of an Elite 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, really? Never mind then. I guess Bug type is the one that's losing with it. Is losing this competition because not Bug type, Flying type. Flying type only has 3 gym leaders. Of course, they do have 2 Elite 4s, but still though, that's kind of sad. Yeah. We need more Flying type gym leaders. We need more Flying type gym leaders. And you know what? My wish list for the next Pokemon game is going to be, please let us have another Fairy type gym leader. I want an Ice type gym leader that's early on in the game. And we need another Dark type gym leader, because I think there's not. I think there's only one actually. Is there only one? Can you remind me? Because I don't remember. Hold on, let me check that. Dark type Pokemon. O Siniestro. Okay, there's technically 3. Technically, if you count Marnie, but you know, I don't think we should count Marnie. So there's 2. Marnie's brother and somebody else. But yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Let's begin. Okay, so in the world of Pokemon, most Pokemon gym leaders have another profession. They have another deal going on, because you know, as we all know, being a Pokemon gym leader doesn't pay that much, you know. In today's day and age, in today's pay cuts, we gotta do something else other than being a gym leader. And apparently child labor is not off the table for Pokemon, because we do have we have a couple children Pokemon that work in the Pokemon League. And in this case, this is Buxby, my little you know, bug eye afraid over here. We have a bug eye dude. And Buxby in particular is a scout boy. He's a Boy Scout. He's a Boy Scout. He's, you know, out there selling cookies, catching bugs, having fun, living his best life. And for that, I would say that Buxby does accomplish his point. Fashion-wise, he's wearing a little more than, you know, he's wearing a little more than just a uniform. It's a uniform, and uniforms do have the proclivity to wash out anything that's special about people, because, you know, it's supposed to be what's it called again? It's supposed to be uniformity. You're supposed to feel as though you're not better or worse than anybody else. You know, it's the reason why uniforms are very unflattering. They're unflattering because they are supposed to make sure that everybody's in an equal playing field. And so, for this reason alone, I am inclined to feel a little bit meh of Buxby. Like, you know, look at these eyes. Look at these eyes they're here. No one's home. The lights are on, no one's home. The house is made, but nobody's living in it. And so I cannot quite detect anything about his personality other than he's just a bit more serious about catching bug types than, you know, your normal bug collector. So I'm feeling a little bit miffed. I'm not really sure how to feel about him. I tried to look up a bit of his, you know, his story, the way that he behaves and everything, and there is not that much about him. He can make look like besides what? He can make it look like him besides personal investments. Wait, what do you mean? I got confused. Sorry, I don't know what you said. Apologies. Can you really explain that one more time? But yeah, I feel a little bit bored. I'm not going to lie to you. My lovely bug-eye friend feels like he's a little more than just an idiot. And it makes sense. It makes sense because this is early Pokemon. This is... I'm actually not sure if he's from... Yellow? Is he from the originals? I don't remember. I looked it up, but I forgot. I think he's from... I think he's from the second... he's the second to first gym? I think he's from Soul Silver, I think. Let me check. I completely forgot. God, this is embarrassing. 1 second. 1 second, please. Everybody, shut up. Shut up, shut up. Okay. Let me double check. What season are you, sir? Yodo. That is... Oh, yeah. So gold and silver. Gold and silver. He can accessories. You know what? I think that's a good point actually. I think that he should be wearing, like, you know how Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts have like those badges that make them feel special, you know. You have a badge for helping an old people, helping a grandma across the street. You know, you have a badge for tying a knot. You have a badge for your first homicide. You know, I feel like they could have done that with him just to give him a little bit more spice, a little bit more something, because he's just really a blank slate. There is nothing more to him other than being a competent bug type trainer. And for the first generators, that's fine. At the end of the day, it wasn't more than just that. It was just you couldn't design something too heavy for those games. But you know, now that the remake has been out, now that we're probably due for another remake of these games, I would like to see something that expresses his personality a little bit more, because he's supposed to be a bit more rambunctious than you see. Like, he's supposed to be a little cray-cray. So, in my rating, I'm gonna give him a solid 5. He is okay. And I think that at the end of the day, he's just a bug catcher. And Pokemon was inspired by the practice of bug catching. So, you know, solid. There's nothing that much to say about him. This is a foreboding conclusion, by the way. This is a sad reality for most bug type trainers, because a lot of them are flops. He's not even the worst one. I'm gonna be honest with you. He's not the worst bug type trainer, but he's just solid. He's solid. A solid 5. Solid 5. Oh, speaking about 180. I don't know how to pronounce this man's name. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Can somebody help me, please? Because I genuinely don't know how to do this name properly. Is Borgear? I'm gonna put it in chat so you guys can help me with this, because I have no idea how you're meant to pronounce his name. Bjorg? Borg? Bug? Bjorg? I'm gonna go with Bjorg for now, because I feel like he would say he will go for that name. So, have you guys ever seen some Have you guys ever seen a design that screams homosexual? Like, have you guys ever seen a design and you get close to the screen and you'll be like, I know what you are. I know who you are. Like, this is blatant. This is blatant. Have you ever seen somebody like, this is just a failed theater kid that's got a little bit too much into bugs, who finds bugs like their inspiration, their muse. And I tend to love that. I kind of live. Because here's the thing. Most Pokemon gym leaders tend to have this little thing in which their silhouette is really important. And that's something that Pokemon gets a lot. Like, they tend to be really good at silhouettes and making sure that no character is too plain. And everybody is recognizable from far away. And his hair does do all that. I'm not going to lie to you. But he is the most Joan Pokemon that you're gonna find ever. And this is surprising, considering the generation that he's from. Because he's from Unova. He's from Generation 5. And... Berg? Okay, Berg. Thank you. Thank you for helping me pronounce it. He's from Unova. He's from Generation 5. Generation 5 is when everybody went out of the Blasio. When everybody was being eccentric. You know? I mean, after all, it was New York. That's where it was from. So, I'm a little bit disappointed. I like it and I hate it for the same reason. I like it because it's a little bit more simple. It's fashion that is more achievable to the normal person. Like, this is what a normal fashionable person look like. But for Pokemon, it feels a bit understated. It feels like it's missing something, you know? Berg is presently doing his battle, so I'm aware. This bitch literally rolls up with a cape and just be like, witness me. Again, failed theater kid. This is a theater kid if I ever seen one. But I'm just bored. I'm bored. Like, having a pretty color palette is not enough. Although I would say that this color palette is a little bit atrocious. It's a little bit of an eyesore because it's red with greens and a brown that is random. So, we could have done a bit more. For an eccentric artist, for this being your art teacher, I feel like this is conservative. I feel like this is somebody who's just missing the crazy that Pokemon is supposed to have. So, I'm a little bit 50-50. I'm not really sure if I like it too much, to be honest. I want to like it more. I think this is a good representation of a fashionable person. But it's boring. In the context of Pokemon, this is boring. This is boring. And also, can we talk about these shoes, Mary? Can we talk about these shoes? Because these shoes are adorable. I want these. I don't know how I would style them. I don't know how I would style this. I will probably style it the exact same way that he did here. But I'm a little bit miffed. I'm a little bit bored. I'm a little bit bored, not gonna lie. Honestly, they sort of missed the opportunity to update his design on Black and White too. Because the thing about most of the gym leaders from Black and White, they all got some type of update, and I think he was only one of 2 who didn't. Because I know the electric one got a huge change, and some Pokemon gym leaders changed over time. So I'm just a little whatever. He's a watermelon. I know, he's a watermelon. A watermelon. I do like the little butterfly clip. It's the one thing that lets you know that this is indeed a bug type. But between him and Brashes, who is the grass type gym leader, who is supposed to be an artist as well, Brashes just eats up this bitch. He eats him up for breakfast. There needs to be more. There needs to be more. Heck, even if you don't want to make his silhouette wilder, why not make his scarf a little bit more eccentric, you know? Like a really weird, ugly scarf that only he could pull off because he has the artistic vision for that, you know? Artistic people tend to be really weird about their fashion because they see things that most normal people don't. You know, creativity comes in many forms, and so it's just, it's missing something. It's missing something. It's missing this this quality that lets me know that he's a Pokemon gym leader. So he's an NPC out of 10. NPC out of 10. He's a solid 6. He's better than the other one. I can tell his personality a little bit more flamboyant, gay-looking ass. But otherwise, miffed and meh. It's a 6. It's a 6. Just a lovely 6. Oh, Viola, Miss Viola. All right, so this is. I cannot even say that it's better because it's not. I want to eat his pants that remind me of a Hairhead's Extreme. You know what they remind me of? They remind me of like those stripes of like bittersweet candy. That is like sort of like a gummy, and it was full of sugar, but they're bitter and sweet, and they were lovely. I don't know if you ever knew none of those. Twizzlers. It reminds me of Twizzlers, because you know Twizzlers came in both green and red, so they remind me of Twizzlers. We need to have Twizzlers. I want Twizzlers. It's been a while. You know what my favorite? You know what my favorite candy though was? My favorite candy when I was a child was coffee. I love coffee. Hi, Jabooters. How you doing, darling? How's it going? We're talking about candy because they got me into a tangent. Yours is like the chicken burrito or teacher like the candy? The candy. Wait, hold on. Let me open him back up. Let me open this man back up. Where is he? Where is this man's? Where's the man? Where are you? There you are. Does this not remind? Do the pants not remind you of like Twizzlers the candy? Because I sort of got it came with red and green. Did it not? Hold on, me. The way that you're talking. Ember, is this you? Ember, is that you? The way that you're talking. What are you doing on Twitch? What made you switch? What made you change? And why is your name Jabooter? It's only because of lag. I'm honest, it's only because YouTube has bigger lag for some reason. I don't know why. But I respond as soon as I see it. It's just you see it later. You see it later, that's the problem. He's a 90s hippie missing the bell bottoms. Honestly, bell bottoms would have done a lot. Bell bottoms would have done a lot for him. I can see that. I can see that bell bottoms would have done a lot to his design. But well, still, solid 6. That and I clicked the wrong link and ran with it. That's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, so Viola. You see, we're starting to see a pattern of blandness. There is a pattern of blandness. I know that bugs are common, but bugs are so colorful. Bugs are like literally one of the creepiest creatures of Earth. Just below sea creatures. So I feel like we could have taken like a bit more inspiration from bugs in their bug designs in general for all of the gym leaders. And I'm getting a little lost with Viola because Viola does have a concept. She has the concept that she's a photographer. I mean, if you couldn't tell for the camera, but she's a photographer. And she's an animal photographer, a professional animal photographer. So, you know, she be getting angelic images for butterflies, you know. But to me, photography in particular, when you photograph stuff, you kind of have a profession for it. You can a profession, obviously, maybe professional photographing. What I mean to say though is that you have to have a passion for a certain type of subject. That's the thing about photographers. They tend to niche down. They tend to focus on the thing that they enjoy looking at and capturing the most. And in this case, for Viola, it would be bugs, butterflies, beetles, I don't know, crickets. So to me, it feels weird that she doesn't have any bug paraphernalia on her. You would think that she will have pins. You would think that her camera will be absolutely decorated with butterfly stickers, Babyllian stickers, if anything. Like, I don't know, a jacket with photographies, you know? Is she a fancy photographer or is an enthusiast, or this is her job? No, this is her job. You know, being a Pokemon gym leader doesn't pay much, so that's her job. So, still though, for Pokemon, in the context of Pokemon, we kind of have to tell that you are a certain type. Because, you know, again, it's just Pokemon in general, Pokemon rules. Like, this maybe not apply to real life. But with such a niche profession as photography is, and how I know photographers behave, I feel like this is a wasted opportunity to make her truly look like she's obsessed with bugs. That is the only thing that she wants to photograph. And that is a miss on her design. That is a miss. And also, there could have been a lot more things to do to make her even subtle. If you don't want to make it that obvious that she's into bugs, despite the fact that, I mean, she's a photographer. Of course, she's into bugs. I think that we could have done something to make this. Let me just do this real quick. Let me just do this. You know what, Game Freak? Game Freak, let me give you a little bit of a lesson. We could have done this. Get a butterfly net, 10 out of 10. No, I don't think so. I think it should be... I think with her, we're just missing the bug paraphernalia that makes it... That makes her, you know, exciting. That makes her read as a Pokemon gym leader. Because to me, she just looks like a random NPC. And I feel like that's the worst thing that you can do as a gym leader in Pokemon. You cannot be an NPC. Otherwise, why do you exist? And I mean, obviously, they're NPCs because you can't play them. Duh. If we go by, like, the sense of the word. But, you know, you're supposed to look special. You're supposed to look cool. Like, people are supposed to want to be you. So what is the point if you don't look cool? If the idea is to be subtle about it, though, you can literally do this. Hold on. You can literally do this. If you want to be subtle about it, why not make her shoelaces sort of butterfly shape? You know? That's a missed opportunity. I mean, they did it with her cargo pants. And I don't think those are cargo pants. They read more like... They read more like gym leggings. But they did that already. They did that shape with her cargo pants. I mean, this looks like a butterfly to me. We may have different ideas for an entomologist aesthetic, but for the most part, I agree. They didn't try much at all. She kind of looks like a summer paparazzi. I know, right? I mean, I don't think she looks like an entomologist because I don't think she is. I just think she likes to... I just think she likes to photograph bugs and beetles. So, if you want to be subtle, just, you know, kind of be subtle about it. Butterfly ribbons would be a good way to start. But again, photographers tend to be the kind of crazy people who get obsessed with something in particular. In her case, it should be bugs. She should have a lot more bug paraphernalia. Like, give her a pen. Do something extra with it. I don't know. Butterfly ribbons are such a good idea. I know, right? Hi, Elenise, by the way, how you doing? How's it going? We're talking about Pokemon gym leaders and how disappointed I am so far about all the bug type trainers. All of them look like normies. The only one that looked mildly interesting was the one from Unova, which I still cannot pronounce his name. Berg. I think that's how you pronounce it. And even he was boring. But yeah, I just feel something. Let me, you know what? Burger. Yeah, Mr. Burger. You know what? I don't know. I'm gonna grab this color. I'm just gonna do something real quick. I'm just gonna do something. Also, I know for a fact that most camera people tend to decorate their cameras because they're, you know, with such a niche profession as photography is. Only mentally ill people are into photography. Only the autistic are into photography, and you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. I love photography too. Did I tell you guys that I did a photography course when I was on when I was in my career, in my graphic design career? We were forced to take photography as one of our electives, quote unquote. And you know what? It was fun, but I will never do photography ever again, because trying to mess with the settings of the camera is so fucking stressful. Like, I don't know what half of these buttons do. I really don't know. I didn't read the instructions. I'm just pressing things until it looks cute. Yeah, just look at that. Just a little bit more. Just something extra. My camera isn't being powered. You must have known just crazy ones. I mean, again, but do you like photography though, Ember? Super valid. Black types are so underappreciated. Yeah, and not only just as a type, as a gym profession too, because there's actually not that many. There's not that many Pokemon trainers that are bug types related. I will say, I did not have. I know that Guzma is technically a bug type trainer. I did not include him here because I don't think he looks that much. Ironically, again, I don't think he looks that much like a bug type trainer. That's number one. And number two, I feel like we could do a series of villains, like ranking villains instead of just, you know, type gym leader. So I'm saving him for that. Did they make you buy the equipment? Oh yes, absolutely. Do you think that school cares about your financial status? No, mama. They want to get you into debt. I had to buy a camera, and I bought the cheapest camera that I could get. I'm not going to lie to you. I bought the cheapest camera that I could get, and still, it cost me a pretty penny. Oh, don't get into school if you're not willing to spend money, bitch. And you know what, though? The crazy part is that this was in the middle of COVID. It was in the middle of COVID when I got my photography course, and they still made me buy the camera. I was pissed. I was so pissed. But you know what though? I did take very cunty pictures. I got compliments, you know? I got compliments. I got part of the some of those cost more than like nice used cars. I know, right? I mean, I was able to get one secondhand super cheap from one of my friends who did do photography. But still, it did cost me a pretty penny. Because even though he was my friend, he did not charge me little. I can tell you that much. You know what though? I did do a pretty cunty campaign because part of the idea of learning photography is to be a self-sufficient graphic designer. So we had to make campaigns and then take the photography for it. And I make such a cunty campaign with a lipstick because I had the idea, well, what if we sell cosmetics for the office lady, the boss woman, the CEO of the company who owns 90% of the company? And I was thinking, what if she signs her papers with lipstick? And you know, it's the lipstick for the boss bitch. So I had my mom sign her name. I had my mom sign her name with lipstick. And I took multiple pictures of her doing it. And I made that bitch bust her fancy suit. My mom was my model for that whole era of my life. And I made her do some crazy shit. My mom is so nice. You bet your ass. She was dressed up to the nines. Call HR, why? Why? I think it was fun. Listen, there is nothing cuntier than just using something that is not meant to and that is not meant to be as a way to write. But yeah, Do you guys do anything like on your if you went to college? I don't assume that anybody did, because honestly, college is fucking rough. But if you went to college, is there anything that you wish wasn't in your course? Because while I enjoyed it, photography was fucking expensive, and it did not serve me of anything, honestly. So is there a class on your major or anything like that that you wish wasn't a thing? Because to me, it was photography, and it also was geometry. Geometry was probably the worst thing that I ever had to learn as a graphic designer, because it was not even the fact that we learned geometry for graphic design. We learned geometry for architecture. I was dead ass making houses, making like balls made out of like sticks, you know, popsicle sticks, and we had to make it sound. I do not know why they taught us that. I guess just because we didn't have that much math included in the graphic design course, and they were like, you know what, they need to learn some type of math. No, I don't. The reason why I went to graphic design is because I didn't want to study math. What I remember though is that my mother wanted me to get into coding for video games, and I had to sat her down and explain that coding for video games is not what she thinks it is. It is not me drawing for video games. It's quite literally fucking beep booping the computer until something comes out, and I am so bad at technology. I skipped college. It doesn't seem worth what I wanted to do. I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, that's the reason why I dropped out. Because I think college just wasn't for me. But I will go back eventually. The idea is still that going back to not to college, but to like do courses of makeup, because I don't want to get licensed. I want to get licensed for makeup. I think makeup is super fun. But yeah, anyway, going back to the pixel versus tons. I think that just doing little things like this is worth it for, just, you know, to make her design just a little bit more bug-like. Just a bit. Just a tad. But yeah, otherwise though, without my edits, without her just being a normal girl, I think that she is little more than a 3. She looks like a normal NPC. And I don't think that gym leaders should be like this. Gym leaders should be special. They should be unicorns. They should be rare. They shouldn't look like this. And so, just a solid 3. Just a sad and lonely 3. Oh! Finally! Finally! Oh, finally somebody came to work, bitch. Somebody showed up. Somebody showed up to actually make this worth it. Because, you know, it's been kind of fast for this type of stream. Normally I tend to ramble a lot, but there hasn't been that much to talk about with the designs. And Kathy finally is giving something to chew on. It's giving something me to eat. Is she the cappuccino made from spider milk? Honestly, that kind of sounds kind of cool. Like a coffee, a coffee spider, with like a cappuccino spider, like maybe with like one of those like swirls that latte have, or like on the back. That would be cute. Somebody make that. Somebody trademark it right now. So, Kathy is, if you couldn't tell, she is a baker. She is the owner of a patisserie, and I think that's quite obvious from the fact that she's wearing a baker's coat. But what I like the most about this design is because it implements what Pokemon should be best at, which is normal job plus typing. Which is, she's a baker, but she has bug type all over the place. This little folds that she has right here, I'm not really sure if this is supposed to be folds. In the game, in her model, this little antenna do look like folds, and this type of hats do tend to form spirals like this. So I'm not really sure if there's supposed to be a pattern or if they're supposed to be folds, but I like it because again, it makes you think of a box antenna. And then we have her little scarf necklace, her little scarf thing. It doesn't really look it that much in this render of her in her artwork, but in game, this looks like a bug. It looks like the underside of a cockroach, which is kind of ugly. It's kind of gross, but I mean, I like it. It's supposed to be a bug type, so why not make it like the underside of a roach? Make it look like a bug. And I think the detail that I love the most about her is her gloves, because this is something that you can miss if you're not really paying that much attention to her. Is that these things right here? These are, when you look at them from above, these are spider webs. So lace disguised as a spider web is so fucking cool to me. It is so cool. This is what Pokemon should do. This is what trainers should do. Like, it doesn't have to be, oh my god, she's a bug. She's quite literally wearing butterfly wings. It doesn't have to be that obvious. But you can introduce little things that make it feel worth it. That make it feel like, oh yes, this is somebody who is so obsessed or loves this type of Pokemon so much that it's kind of become part of the personality. You know? So to me, Kathy is a 10 out of 10. She does everything that needs to be done. If I had to say anything about it, is that maybe her hair is a little crazy. Like, her hair is a little crazy. But then again, this is Pokemon. This is Pokemon. Their hair's already crazy. And I don't think I'm one to say anything about crazy hair, because I mean, look at this. This is not possible in real life, mind you. None of this is possible, but you know what? I am a VTuber. I am not shackled by the mundane chains of reality. I can do whatever I want. So yeah. What do you guys think though, so far? Because we're almost done with the bug category. What do you guys think so far? Do you think that she's the best that you've seen so far? Because I genuinely think she is. I think she is the best that we've seen so far out of all of them. I don't know why it took this long for bug type trainers to start hitting it. Like, hit it with gas. But at least somebody came home. Somebody showed up. 9 out of 10? 9 out of 10 is a good. It's a good thing. That's good. That's great. It means that she's doing way above average from the rest of them. Any other comments though? Actually, I do have a negative. I do have a negative about her. Now that I think about it. And this is such a small, nitpicky thing. But I sort of wish that her apron had just a little bit more look like a bug. I feel like she needs to be holding bug themed bread. Oh, that would be cute. What about if the apron had it? You know, the apron had like a little bun that has like the shape of a butterfly engraved on it. I know that you can do like cuts for bread to make it look like certain shapes. So that could be cute. That could be really cute. I like that idea. I like it. But you know what? I think that her apron was a missed opportunity to do even more of that like bug thing. Like try and make it look like the underside of a bug. I feel like that could be something I could nitpick. But otherwise, this is great. This is a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, no notes. Your Honor, she is perfect. And I don't think that there's anything that you can do about it to make me feel negative about her. At all. 10 out of 10. Oh god. Oh my god. Lord. Hey buddy. Do you guys remember the thing that I was saying with Viola? Then I don't think that a Pokemon gym leader should look like a normal NPC. I feel like this is applied to elite members 10 times. An elite member, like the Elite Four should not look like a fucking NPC. He looks like an escape convict. That's only the orange talking to you. You know what his whole thing is? He doesn't really have that much of a personality to begin with. Like, he literally just appears in the game. He's barely there. And even on the anime, he's just there for one episode, and he loses against the champion, and that's his whole thing. That's all he does. That's all he ever does. So, this is Aaron. Aaron is the bug type Elite Four member of Generation 4. You know, still not the time in which they were actually trying with their designs. When you actually go to look at him and you try to look up what his deal is, you're only gonna find 4 paragraphs about him, and that he's just a little bit cocky and wants to fight Cynthia. That's all he is. And I went back and I read a little bit of the manga, and I read a little bit of the like a synopsis from the Pokemon anime episodes that he appeared. And from what I could gather, he's supposed to be the pretty boy. He's supposed to be the pretty boy who's a little cocky, is good at sports, is athletic. You're supposed to fawn for him and be like, "Oh my god, look at me!" as you're throwing your panties at him. You know, that type of thing. He's supposed to be like read like a jock who's not an asshole. But to me, this is so not it. It looks boring. It looks like he's supposed to be a protagonist, but not in the best time possible. He's like the Kirito kind of protagonist, and that's not a compliment. That is not a compliment at all. And I can see the small things that he tried to do, because you pointed out, Ember, that his shoes look like hams. They're hexagonal pattern. You know, things in nature tend to like this hexagonal pattern because it's the most stable thing. If you guys didn't know, the little segments of a beehive don't start out as a hexagonal shape. That's not the original shape. They start as circles, but they eventually compress and fall into the shape of a hexagon because it's the most stable shape in nature. So I can see that they try to do that because, you know, hexagons are very prevalent in bugs, in their eyes, in their wings, in where they live, things that they do. So they try to incorporate that a little bit on him, just to be like, hey, this is a bug, you know, this is vaguely a bug. But with barely anything connecting him to a bug otherwise, I could not even tell. I genuinely think that this would be like the Ace Trainer type of character, not an Elite Four. If we were to do something to change him, if we were to do something to try and salvage this poor excuse, I think what I would do, if we want to keep it same-ish, I think what we could do is we can try to give him a zipper that sort of looks like a fly, maybe. And maybe just do something like this. Like something that it was already doing, but a little bit more blatant. You thought he was an Ace Trainer? No! You know what? Oh, bitch! Alanis, do you remember the Ace Trainers from Ruby and Sapphire? Look exactly like him. Wait, hold on. Everybody, hold the phone. Shut up. Wait. Ace Trainer, Ruby, Omega Ruby. Oh my god! Wait, everybody shut up. Oh god. Oh lord. No. Why are you yelling? This is so sad. This is sad. Because you know what? These designs are a lot more interesting than what he is. Oh, that is depressing. That is so depressing. Oh, mama. I don't know. If I want to play devil's advocate, is that maybe they tried to make him look like an ace trainer, to be like, you know, you too could also be part of the Elite Four. The Pokemon League is achievable to you, 10-year-old. Don't you want to come work for us? Don't you want to do some child labor? Maybe that's his reason. Maybe that's his purpose. Maybe that's the reason why he is here. But I can't help but feel disappointed by him. Is it more animated? They all open, close, and the pose. Like, even without the pose, I feel like they feel even better than him. Again, maybe if you want to do something like this, just make it look like a fly. I don't know what else I would do to make his design feel a little bit more bug-like. Maybe give him a profession. Maybe give him something to do, because he's one of the few, and he's one of the few trainers that absolutely have nothing else going for them except for the fact that they're a Pokemon trainer. So maybe give him a job. I don't know, work at customer service, work a retail job, stop sleeping on your mom's couch. Maybe that would help you. I don't know, does the Elite Four pay? Do they pay good? Do they pay good? Because I mean, Larry suggests that they don't get paid that much. But I don't know, can you live out of it? Can you make a good living? Because maybe he makes a good living and I'm just talking shit, you know? Real, just like me, for real. Me too. You can make an income just winning battles. Sure, you can make an income by beating the shit out of a teenager's Pokemon and stealing their lunch money. Technically, that's what we do. We literally just assault people on the street. Actually, no. We're just walking around, and in the games, we get assaulted by people wanting to take our lunch money, and then we beat them, and we take theirs. Oh yeah, this is depressing. This is a straight up 0. This is a 0. There is nothing preventing this man from jumping games and just going straight to Danganronpa. This could be a fire Danganronpa design, mind you. I think this could be really good in literally any other game that is not Pokemon. That is so sad. You know what? One final change that I will suggest for him, though. One final change. Just to be sneaky about it. If we're really doing this. Just give him another one. Make him truly read like a bug. Hold on. Everybody shut up. It could be a Xenoblade MC. Oh, you are so right. You are so right. You know what? I like that idea. Let's make him jump ship. Okay, just give me 1 second. I'm just gonna do this real quick and then we'll move on. Wait. I'm cooking. I am cooking, chat. I am cooking. Do not disturb the master what he cooks. There you go. You know what? Problem solved. He looks like an Apollon. But you know what? It does make him look a little bit more like a bug. Or like an Oddish? I think we have accomplished something. I feel accomplished. I think this is a great edit. No more notes for me, darling. No more notes for me. Oh god. Oh, finally some good fucking food. As you guys know, as part of this fun little thing that we're doing, reviewing the fashion of the Pokemon gym leaders, I feel like it would be fun to include the Pokemon Voltage, Hatsune Miku Voltage designs, where she was basically a gym leader. And if you know something about boxes, they make a lot of fucking noise. They tend to sing. They tend to communicate by literally vibrating. They vibrate to the sound, and then they make noise. So I think that Acquire Girl for a bug type gym leader is such a good idea. It's such an inventive thing that I don't think we've seen before. And it's just Miku can never be clogged. She cannot never be clogged. Because, you know, in this particular version of her, she's a robot. Quite literally. She's a robot made to sing. And so, we have that idea, of course, that central idea of her being a choir girl. And then it's just being brought all together by her bow on the back that looks like butterfly wings. It just makes for such for such a clever design, such a clever little thing. I think that clearly Game Freak has not thought of before. Because bugs do make noise. Bugs do sing. They tend to they tend to be called like the song of the wild because they're always chirping. They're always making some type of noise. And just to bring it home, the hair looking like either claws or antenna. I don't remember. I don't know what the name of this artist is because I cannot read it. Cicadas are loud as hell. I know, right? But they're singing. That's their song, you know? They're dropping their next album. They're dropping the album. I cannot read the name of this artist, but whoever did it, honestly, great for you. Wait. I'm looking at this breakdown right here. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, you're joking. That is so fucking clever, the fuck? Oh, so the joints are for her to look bug-like too. Oh, bitch, that is so good. That is so fucking good. Man. You see how the joints, the way that they're drawn, they're kind of supposed to read like a box joint? I mean, ball jointed and box joints tend to be very similar because they tend to have like their geometry very much in display. Damn. That is so clever. 10 out of 10 design. 10 out of 10. No notes. Do you guys really think that I could give Miku anything less than a 10? That it is illegal to give Miku in these days and in this day and age anything less than a 10. But yeah, what do you guys think of Miku? Do you guys like her? Do you guys not like her? Is there anything that you would change on her? Because to me, she's perfect. But I want to know. What do you guys think? What should we change if we should change anything? I'm going to drink some water in the meantime. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Alright. So, because Bug Time Gym Leaders were such a small segment of the stream, we're also going to be doing flying type gym leaders because, I mean, they're also very small. And I don't know if you guys have noticed a little clever thing that I've been doing that makes me feel really smart when it comes to these type of reviews. Is I've been going in a super effective type of thing. I started with fire and then I followed up with water. Fire is weak to water. Water is weak to grass. Grass is weak to bug. And bug is weak to flying. It's just such a stupid thing. It's such a stupid thing. I don't think it has any rhyme of reasons, but it makes me happy. It makes me happy. And now you know. Now you know that after this, we're doing electric type Pokemon. So, by just going with a circle of weaknesses. Except for normal. I think normal and dragon are right at the end because they're literally not weak to anything. So, so you know. Now you know the timeline. You know the timeline. Alright. We're starting with, once again, they're unironically both from the same game. Sold. It's a hard gold, soul silver. Falconer. Falconer is clearly meant to be a traditional Japanese falconer. Like, he's supposed to be a falcon trainer. That's what his name is referencing, and what even his Japanese mentions, which is something to do with falcon. Hayato. I'm gonna be for real. I think that just like everybody else, colors are not enough for me to tell that he's meant to be like that. Like, I can see it sorta with the arm guards, but if you're not familiar with the imagery that it's supposed to evoke, I feel like it's kinda hard to tell. Like, of course, not everybody has to have a wing strapped to their face. But I feel like we could have made it a little bit obvious. You know, a little bit more obvious. Like make the armbands a little bit more padded out, just to make them feel a bit more, you know, prevalent in the design. Does Flying even have a color associations? Yes, they do. They have a light blue. It's a light blue, but okay. So there's 3 types who have blue. Actually, no, there's 4. There's 4 types who have blue associated to them. Indigo color is for dragon. The color of his pants is the color of water. The color of his vest, which is more of a cyan blue, is the color of his of flying, and more of a light blue, almost going to white, is the color of ice. So they do have a color association to them. Still not very clear though. It's a little bit muddled, if I may be honest. But yeah, Falconer is supposed to be a falconer, as I said, and I think this is a really competent design, particularly for a traditional one who is very rooted in tradition, very rigid, and his hair also does affect that, because the fact that he's covering up his eye, it makes him feel a lot more severe than he probably already is, and he gives him a little bit of a young, cocky vibe, you know. From what I read of him, he is very much the type to boast about his own power. So I think that's spot on. One thing I did read though, and I'm not completely sure about it because I am not that familiar with Japanese folklore. I did read that his little yukata that he's wearing, not yukata, haori, his little haori that he's wearing outside of the sky blue color, is supposed to mimic the same pattern that a tengu would have. Which, if it is, it adds another extra layer of flying type, you know, because tengus are crows. They are birds. They're humanized birds. Bird demons, you know? So, if that is the case, if that's true, I think that's really clever. I think that's really fun. It still feels like just like a very competent design, you know? You would know and you would see the fly type association. But otherwise, if you don't know what he's referencing, I think you kind of will struggle to tell what is happening with him. So, solid design, makes reference to something really fun, but otherwise, kind of forgettable. So I think just like Bugsy, we're gonna give him a 5 because, again, it's solid, but it's forgettable. You just don't remember him. Ooh, Winona. Damn, what a this is giving me whiplash in comparison. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. So, immediate 10 out of 10. Really? Really? What do you like about it? Why are you attracted to it? Because to me, okay, so first of all, couple things. Winona is an aviator. I couldn't quite really find if she was a specific type of aviator. She feels more, rather than an actual pilot, she feels more like the perception, the idea that we have of pilots. Because there was this thing that is more like a pinup babe type of there is like this pinup babe type of poster when people were trying to get people recruited to the war. They would have like a female aviator that had her boobs out, a red shirt, the bomber jacket was open. And I'm pretty sure that that's what she's trying to reference here. She's trying to reference like those types of posters. But it also gives me a bit of a vibe of a sort of like a, what are they called again? Not ballet dancer. What is the shit? Ice skater. It gives me a vibe of an ice skater. And with the way that she's posed and the way that she is so fucking extra to have her hair styled like wings, it gives me the idea that she is that pilot, like a pilot, that an aviator that performs tricks, that performs air tricks. I know. Thank you so much for agreeing with me. I appreciate it. Or this type of, you guys know that, like, you know, the skywriting, like the pilots that do skywriting with certain chemicals that make clouds. She feels like she would do that. I feel like that's probably her shtick. And if we go with that, I think she's a perfect 10 out of 10. There is absolutely no notes. It's the same thing with Kathy, in which it's incorporating the idea of a normal job with the typing so cleverly. And I feel like this is a bit more. This might be a little bit too obvious. Like maybe we can tone it down a little. I know she's hot. You don't have to yell at me about it. I think my dog agrees with you, Ember. Anyway, I feel like we could maybe tone it down a little bit because she is going for it. She is fully making this her whole personality. Again, going as far as for styling her hair that is coming out over here. This is her hair. Look at this. This is the same color as her ponytail. She's going as far as styling her hair in the shape of wings. So this makes her look a little bit crazy. Stop yelling at me. What did I do to you? What did I do to you? I know she's hot, but you don't have to yell at me for it. Oh my gosh. High heels with wing stilettos? Honestly, that would be kind of absurd, but I feel like that will be against the purpose that she is for. You know, I like the... Make the ponytail also aerodynamic. It already kind of is, though. It already looks like a wing. It already looks like feathers. It already is. I don't think there's anything that you need to change about it. Honestly, it's perfect. It's just perfect. I love the poofiness of it. Makes it feel a little bit airy. The color is cute. All the wings, obviously, is like an air glider. No, there's like a hair tie at the end. That's a little hang glider. Oh, you know what? I could see that actually. I like that. That is cute. And I also like the wing shape on the cut of her back. I think Winona's perfect. I don't think there's anything that you need to change for it. Like toning it down may help it feel a little bit less crazy, but it is Pokemon that we're talking about, for fuck's sakes. I'd rather this than whatever the fuck we experience with the bug type trainers. So 10 out of 10, no notes. I love this. Please, Game Freak, give me more like this. I'd rather this than just random ass people becoming the gym leaders. That's just boring. It's just boring. It's boring. Speaking though, 10 out of 10. Speaking of 10 out of 10s, we go to something that's clearly not a 10 out of 10. That's clearly not a 10 out of 10. Oh my god. So, you guys remember how we had Winona just like a couple seconds ago? If you want to rewind on the pod, you will see that literally 3 seconds ago we had Winona. Well, this is Winona at home. Oh my god, Ember, shut up. So, just like Winona, she also is supposed to be an aviator. She's a cargo pilot in particular. Shoot me in the eye, I don't see it. I do not see it at all. Having the Mega Man hands is kind of weird though. Agreed. They're supposed to be like heavy duty gloves. Just like the type of gloves that you would need when you're flying that high. You know? Although technically the cockpit is insulated, so I'm not really sure why you're wearing gloves anyway, but you know. And she's also wearing shorts, so I'm, again, mixed signals. Why is she wearing full lined boots if she's also having shorts, you know? So, on that note, I do agree, Ember, that the parachute harness does make up for a lot of things. Yeah. I see it. She's wearing a parachute harness to go down with the cargo being thrown out. But why is the pilot going down with the... What happens to the airplane? Is that how 9/11 happened? Of course not. That is a joke. I'm joking. Please don't cancel me. But what happens to the plane when she jumps off? Does he just disappear? Does he just despawn? Like, again, I see it. I see the thing. I see what is happening with it. The AirPod is disposable. I'm sure the Pokemon running the engine takes over. Do you mean Rotom? Are we saying that Rotom is the... Is Rotom the one responsible for flying the plane? Jesus Christ, is my YouTube stream that far behind? Turbo, are you seeing my stream that far behind? Because like you're replying to Winona, but when being so far past Winona. Amber, can you check if the delay on my YouTube stream is that bad? Or Alanis, if you're still here, I don't know if you are, but if you're still here, how bad is it? I'm gonna yell Marco and you say Polo, okay? Marco. Damn. You know what? I guess I'm gonna have to answer to my own call out. Hold on. Let me do this real quick. It's an entire 2 minutes behind. Oh Jesus fuck. Hold on. Marco. I'm gonna see how long it takes for it to. No, the chat is immediately reacting. Okay. Marco. Polo. It doesn't seem that far behind. Am I stupid? Or is it just... I don't know. I don't know what's going on because it doesn't feel that far behind to me. Or is it just because I am the host of it that it doesn't look like it's that far behind? I don't know. I'm so sorry for the YouTube experience if you guys are experiencing that far behind. And I'm sorry if it makes it looks like I'm ignoring you. I'm really not trying to. I'm not trying to ignore you. But it just seems like the YouTube stream is so far behind that I can't. You guys are replying to things that I have already been said. So I'm sorry. If you want to watch it a little bit more like, you know, straight up without any delay, you can switch to Twitch if that's what you want. I don't mind if you guys do. So that is the recommended thing. But I am so sorry. It's normally not this bad. I'm not really sure what's happening. But yeah, anyway. Going back to Winona at home, Miss Skyla. Again, I do see the point of the parachute. I feel like that's cute. It's a cute idea. But I feel like if we're gonna go as campy as putting a propeller in her hair, because you know that's what the little flower shape is supposed to be evoking. She has a propeller on it. It spins. I feel like we could have done something to make, I don't know, maybe make the parachute part of her outfit, or at least in this splash art where she's not really like, you know, in-game part. Like maybe have her parachute dragging down just like this. Just give me 1 second. Let me bust out the pen again. A color that is not really. Oh, she only really has 2 colors. Well, I'm gonna grab this one. I mean, oh god. Oh lord. I can't see. Give me 1 second. Where is the bucket? Where's the bucket tool? There. Okay, there we go. Now we can actually do some drawing. I feel like we could make the parachute so part of the thing. I don't know how to draw a parachute now that I think about it. But you know what? We're gonna go with it because I am committed to this craft. I am committed of criticizing Pokemon and people. So, you know, I'm committed to this now. Even if it looks ugly. Meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow. And now we do the black. Like this is. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me make the actual backpack too. And now we do the black actually. God, I forget that I learning things is hard. I usually do line art first when it comes to art. So doing these outlines after doing the color is kinda hard for me. Oh God, no. Hell no. Actually, for it to make sense, it will have to cut here, more or less. I know this would not technically be possible, you know, because who would be dragging? Who would be actually dragging a parachute on their back like you know, like a freak? Who would be dragging a parachute like a cape? I don't know who. But again, Pokemon games are extra. They're super extra. So I feel like the parachute is sort of needed for it to read like that. Because quite honestly, before you told me that it was a parachute harness, I did not read it like that. I did not read it like that. So, you know, just an idea. Just an idea. It doesn't have to be like this, but she needs to have more that makes her feel like a pilot. What do you think? She was a fan of Shivari? Honestly, I wouldn't put it past Pokemon because Pokemon does some dark shit. I know you like drag, but dragging out the aeronautics, in sense, this is actually bad. You see Incredibles, no capes. Well, yeah, because this is not a capes though. This is her parachute. She's just, you know, she's so excited to battle you that she jumped out of the sky, out of the plane that she was supposed to travel in. It crashed in the background, and she was so excited that she not even take her parachute off. You know, because you know Skyla is like, you know, they super excited Genki type of character, so why not? And again, because we have this thing that I cannot really read her as a flying type. The turbine on her hair doesn't read like a turbine to me until I think about it harder. Like it reads more like a flower than anything else, and maybe that's the point. But yeah, I don't know. To me, Skyla is just like a 3. She doesn't feel original. She doesn't feel fun. She doesn't feel like she's making what Winona did better. Winona did it better, a 1,000 times better than her. So for Skyla, it's a 3 because I don't think she's inventive. She's not original, and she doesn't read like a pilot. She doesn't read like a pilot at all. Like, you could tell me. Admittedly, the blue propeller and the propeller being white is meant for water. It doesn't help. I know this was for flyers. I say she was a diver. Oh no, right. That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say too. She reads a lot more like a diver, actually. She reads a lot more like she's meant to be like somebody who wears like a bell suit. You know, there's really clunky suits that are supposed to be for like deep diving into the ocean. The harness could also hold scuba gear. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I don't know. It reads weird. I don't like it that much. I think the parachute actually does great. I like the idea of the parachute, not gonna lie. I know it's stupid. I know it doesn't make sense. Dragging your own parachute would be kind of weird, but on the pitch that I'm giving for Skyla, which is, you know, she's so excited to battle you that she doesn't even take her parachute off. I feel like this could be fun. It could be a fun idea. I don't know. Kill me for it. We need more. Oh, Now we're moving on to the Elite Four. The Elite Four flying type trainers. So, hey DJ, how you doing, darling? I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing okay. So we're having we're moving to the Elite Four, and we're seeing the first flying type Elite Four. You've been lurking? Oh, thank you. I appreciate the lurking. 9 out of 10. I love it. I like golf. You see, that's the clever thing about it. So, who? This is a class now. Who in the chat can tell me, what do you call when you hit? When you get a hole in one, what is it called? When you hit it in 2 hits, what is it called? When you hit it in 3 hits, what is it called? Tell me. What are they called? What are the terms for golf called? Turkey. Turkey touchdown. Thank you so much for the stand up and stretch, DJ. I appreciate it. Okay, so the nomenclature, the terms used in golf is birdie, eagle, and I don't remember what the term is, but they are terms related to birds. That's what it's called. So I think it's pretty clever to use golf as related to a flying type. Turkey is a bird, but turkey is not part of the that's not part of the terminology, Amber. 10 out of 10 outfit, but 7 out of 10 for the lack of content. I mean, we're not judging them for how long they appeared on the screen, okay? If they have a good design, then we enjoy it. Damn. Hold on, let me actually Google, because I know that one of them is birdie. Okay, so we have birdie, eagle, albatross. I remember based on the Pokemon, and it's the dog one. Oh yeah, it's the dog water one. It was introduced with her. I'm pretty sure she uses it actually. Yeah. So yeah, the terms in golf is birdie, eagle, and albatross, which all of them are bird related. You know, an eagle is a bird, a birdie is obviously a bird, and an albatross is a bird too. So it's pretty clever to have, you know, the flying type Elite Four to be themed after golf. And like DJ pointed out, her outfit is actually heavily based on the a Pokemon in particular, which I think it's Swanna, like the pre-evolution of Swanna. Because you know, she has the blue coloring. She has the socks that kind of make them look like the talons of the bird. And of course, she has her hair that sort of mimic wings when you look at them. It also helps a lot with the fact that her dress does tend to seem, the shirt actually, because it seems like it's more like a 2-piece. Yeah, the shirt, the trim of it looks like it is made out of feathers. And again, it's just clever little things that you can do to make the Pokemon, to make it read more like a certain type. So I think that she's perfect. I don't think there's anything that you need to change. Like, even you could argue that the visor looks like a peak, you know? And also, she's a little bit of a bitch. I love her cunty attitude, not gonna lie. I think that her attitude is great. No fucks given. She will beat you up with that. She will beat you up with the golf club. And I think that's great. I think that's fun. We need more Pokemon gym leaders like this. A Pokemon gym leader that genuinely, when you lose, they will beat the shit out of you. I mean, with the of her content, she looks kind of like Nuken. Also based in a few Pokemon. Yeah. I will admit, I am kind of sad that she's didn't they cut her in like Ultramon and Ultra Sun? Do they cut her or do they keep her in? Because I know that a couple of them get replaced, I think. No, only one of them gets replaced. It gets replaced. The Rogue one gets replaced by a Steel type. Yeah. But yeah, I love her. 10 out of 10. She's great. Love it. Oh, we have a double feature, folks. We have a double feature. I think that most of you will recognize him and most of you will love this man. And I love him too. We have Larry. Larry. I don't know how to pronounce it in Gringo, but Larry. So, Larry, for those who do not know, she is working overtime. He's working 2 jobs. You know, being a gym leader doesn't pay enough. He also is part of the elite, but the elite 4 in the same region. He is both a gym leader and part of the elite 4, and he also has a 3rd job being a salaryman, if you couldn't tell. So, Larry is a play on the office worker in Japan, the overworked office worker that works 3 jobs, pulls out the house, barely has any time for eating, sleeping, for being alive. You know, gray hair, looks like you're literally any other guy that you can find in school, you know? Oh, I find that weird because technically he's not pure wind, but here's the thing though, that's the clever thing about it. Because, folks, the devil is in the details. Because he is a normal time in his normal type in his day-to-day life. Quite literally, that's what he is for. So, he's supposed to look like a normal person. However, if you notice the details, I'm gonna zoom in if you haven't noticed it yet. Number 1, his tie is clouds. Immediately, it's not only the color of the flying type, but it has clouds on it, you know? He should become a very dark gym leader. I don't think so. I don't think so because I think flying is perfect because you can mix the ideas of it better. Let me just show you, like I said. Immediate thing, the tie is the color of a flying type and it has clouds on it, linking it to the sky, making you think, oh, maybe there's something more to him. Because, you know, it means that he has a little bit of a personality, maybe wishing to be free from his corporate job that is clearly trying to kill him. That's one thing. But also, the lapels have this little detail, this little like embroidery, or I don't know what to call it, like these little triangles that make it so his lapels look like wings. This is a high-level dealer looking guy if it's for dark. I don't think so, genuinely. He's just supposed to be a normal guy. So the thing is that when you first look at him, at his fight, you can actually cannot make him out of the crowd because he just looks like such a normal guy, especially from the back. He looks like such a normal guy, so you cannot make him out. You cannot make him out. But once he actually stands up and you get to look at him better, you're like, oh, that is really clever. Because they just make the normal type trainer look like a normal guy. And I think that's fun. But that's not the part that we're talking about. We're not talking about his normal part. His normal part will come when we talk about normal time gym leaders. Right now, we're talking about the flying aspect of him. So, as I said, the lapels are wings. The ties. Pásamelo por acá. Dale vuelta tantito. Ay, pues tráemelo, pues. No parar. Ay, Dios mío. No, again. Sorry, my sister was talking to me. I'm so sorry. But yeah, like I said, tie, lapel. That is the most obvious ones, even if you couldn't tell. But the other one is his gray hairs. His gray hairs. So if you ever look up the way to visualize a gale, white streaks is usually what tends to define a gale. It looks like wind. It also makes his hair look a little messy, which again, that's what will happen when you are exposed to wind. If you don't have hair gel on your hair, it's going to fly off. Your baby hairs are gonna fly back, and you're gonna look bald, just like he does. So his hair look like gales, but also if you notice, The shape of his head looks like a cloud. So it's just tiny little details that unless you're paying attention, you're not gonna be able to tell that, of course, he's a flying type. Of course he is. Everything is pointing to it. It's just so subtle you cannot tell. And I think that is a masterpiece. I think that's what this is design at its finest. And when he becomes an Elite Four, he actually wears gloves, which makes her feel a bit less human. All of the Elite Four in this game wear black gloves, which, when you think about it, I think it's in service to make them look a little bit more intimidating. You know, they're another step far away. They're numb. Gloves usually make you numb to the senses. They tend to be very, they tend to interfere a lot with the way that you perceive the world. And so when he does that, he looks more severe, he looks more serious. And I think that that's something to applaud, again, the designer of this for. I think they were clever. They were really nice. And I love it. I love Larry's design so much. I love my overworked salaryman. I love him. And I think everybody needs to appreciate him more. And not a lot of people do. Finally, to close out the review, we have Pokemon Voltage Flying type Miku. Now, from what I can tell, Flying type Miku is actually based in Galar. She's supposed to be part of the Galar gym, like part of the Galar gym leaders, which is the reason why her clothes look a little bit sporty. I'm not really sure what her deal is, to be honest. I'm not really sure what type of this is Hatsune Miku, flying type. Sword and Shield. Yeah, Sword and Shield. It's supposed to be looking sporty. I'm not really sure what her deal is. Like, I'm not really sure what she's supposed to be. Like, what? Because if you guys know the thing about Galar, their main things they are both football. Like, it's supposed to be a football uniform, but they have a secondary sport. And I cannot quite tell what her secondary sport would be. Maybe archery because of the glove. If you push me, maybe. And it could be fun for like a flying type gym leader to do archery. But it doesn't quite read like that. I love the idea of making her hair like clouds though. I feel like Miku is at her best whenever her hair looks nothing like her. I feel like that's really fun. Actually, glad to have her exposed to thingies. Fair enough, I guess. What I can tell you though is that she looks like a wind chime. A wind chime tends to be transparent and tends to have a lot of these designs on top of it. And I feel like that's what these what the intention of the transparent gloves are. The transparent shorts are. I'm pretty sure that she's supposed to read like a wind chime. And if that's her deal, I think this is great. I think this is fun. The sleeves too are so fucking cunt. I want sleeves like this. This will be so itchy though, because they will probably be made up some type of tool, and that will be so itchy. But you know what? Fashion is the name of the game, and fashion is pain. But otherwise, I like it a lot. It's a 10 out of 10 design. I don't think there's anything to change. Maybe if she has a secondary sport, make her clear that she has one. Like if it's supposed to be archery, and I think it should have been archery. I think her secondary sport should have been archery, but well, it is what it is. So yeah. Oh wow, a minute 43. We made a record. I'm pretty sure that this has been the shortest review stream that I ever done. I mean, to be fair, there was not a lot to talk about. I'm gonna be for real. With you. There was not really that much to talk about because most of the bug type trainers were a little bit boring. They were boring, and I didn't enjoy it very much. I think it looks like really. Yeah, not you saying that to Miku. Not to Miku of all people. How dare you? How dare you say that to my wife? How dare you say that to the Lord and Savior? Oh. But yeah. Bug types were a flop. Flying types, they were kind of half and half. Most of them were great, but they were a little bit of a sting. There was one that was a complete stinker, and I think that's Skyla. I think Skyla was a complete and absolute flop. But otherwise, flying types did great. I think flying types did awesome. But yeah, let me just switch to stats on that real quick. Oh. But yeah, did you guys enjoy this stream? What do you think? Do you agree with most of my takes? Do you think that most of my takes are whack? What do you think? What do you think? Let me know. Do you also agree with some of the edits that I did? Because I feel like some of the edits what I did solved a lot of my issues, particularly with Viola. Viola was generally such an offender for me. And I don't think there was not saving for Aaron. Aaron did not have anything to save him from. You know what though? I think because Aaron looks like such a normal guy, I feel like it would have been fun to make him a Sentai instead. That's how I would fix him. Make him like a Sentai. Make him have a helmet. Aaron should be put back in jail. I know, right? He should be put. That is a fashion crime. That is a fashion crime. But you know, I think like maybe the way to fix Aaron is to literally make him a Super Sentai, like a Power Ranger. Make his mask look like a bug. Maybe that could be a fun thing. I kind of like that. I like that idea. You know what? I've been thinking, since I've been criticizing and talking about a lot about Pokemon gym leader design, I've been thinking about making my own gym leaders. And I had an idea earlier for a deep sea diver, like, you know, the ones that wear the bell helmet. That could be an idea. I also had and now I have the idea for like the Super Sentai bug type gym leader. So we may be cooking. We may be cooking this time around. I'm excited for that, honestly. Let's see, who is streaming today? Aaron, interesting. I remember him from the Pokemon movie. He was in the movie? Because I didn't see anything about him featuring in the movie. I didn't know that. Anime. Yeah, in the anime he is. But he's not that interesting to begin with. I happen to be a 1980s diving enthusiast. I can help with that. Okay, you know what? Sure. We can come up with that. That will be a fun thing. That would be like a fun video. We can make that into a video. I would love that. We can work on that. Hell yeah. Ideas, folks. Ideas are popping up. I think I have to accept that at this point, I'm just a Pokemon content creator. Like I say that that I'm a fashion and makeup content creator. But let's be honest. All I do is talk about Pokemon. It's just a ruse. It's just a play. It's just an excuse for me to talk about Pokemon. Let's see, who's streaming? Who's streaming tonight? What are we looking at? What are we looking at right now? No one who I really care to raid. Do we make a new friend tonight? What are you doing? You're not beating the allegations. I know, right? I'm absolutely not. Nope. Not at all. Now that I think on Pokemon, what's up? Hold on, I'm trying to... Ash has moved some gym leaders. Huh? Oh! Yeah. Yeah, you're so right. He has the wrist. He has the wrist. He has the wrist to... You know. Now that I think about it, did they ever leave somebody in charge of their own gyms? Or no? I told him about it. I told him about it. I'm talking about it, Amber. He hasn't come back to me on that one. I don't see anyone that I want to raid, but I want to raid. I want to raid. I guess I'll send you to Lunari, maybe. Or maybe I could send you to Jasto. Where's Jasto there? Oh no, he's fucking doing karaoke. Never mind. You know what? You guys may enjoy that actually. I'm gonna send you to Jasto. I'm gonna send you to the man. To the man. The only man. All right. Well, guys, it was fun. Thank you all so much. I hope that you guys have a lovely day, a lovely night. Thank you for choosing me as your entertainment for today. I really do appreciate it. Please go and support Jocelyn. He's really fun. If you like a bit of cringe content fused with genuine and bright creativity, I think that you guys are gonna enjoy him. He's a little bit cringe, but you know what? Let the cringe part of you die. I hope you guys have a lovely day. Take care, and thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys next week. Take care. Bye bye, y'all. Bye.